a lot to offer here at Clayton, from wonderful teachers to challenging classes to achieving students. Some of this can be credited to the revenue that the district receives. Recently, there's been a proposal for a tax levy, an increase on our property taxes. School Board President Kristen Reddington and AP Economics teacher Daniel Glossinger explain the reasons for this proposal.
So school districts have to, they don't have to, but they regularly do go out and ask for tax levy increases because of the rollback that's required under the Hancock Amendment to the Missouri Constitution. So tax rates are continually revised downwards in many cases because of that Hancock Amendment. And so we have gone a very long time as a school district without asking for that tax rate to rise back up again. The tax rollback happens automatically, but school districts and municipal governments are not allowed to raise the rate unless they go out to voters. And again, that's part of the Hancock Amendment.
So the last time that the school district went for tax levy was in 2003, and that's about 15 years ago. This has been something that's been coming down the pipeline.
So it's a complex answer to that, but to keep it as simple as possible, the amount that the school district is able to collect based on the increase in the assessed value is actually capped to the inflation rate as measured by the Consumer Price Index.
To explain the tax levy, let's take a $1 million house for example. Only 19% of that $1 million house actually gets taxed, and at a rate of 7.13%. The increase would be an extra 54 cents per $100, or a 0.54% increase. It's the same as if a pack of gum went from $2 to $2.01.
So by doing it this year, it prepares us to be able to deal with what if we don't have the support from the community. Then we'll have to look at some different ways of how we teach at Clayton. I also went to school, the Clayton schools, and my kids are here. To me, public education is one of the most wonderful opportunities that we have in our country, and it's, I think, really important to be able to give an education to every child to realize their potential, and that happens through public education.
So I think that students ought to care about it on the sense that it will affect how their classrooms operate to some degree. They probably aren't going to notice, if the tax levy were not to pass, they probably wouldn't notice a whole lot of changes, but it depends on which students, and certain students would notice pretty significant changes. It's not like we would go from having 9 or 10 history teachers to 5 history teachers. That's not the kind of changes. But having more classes of 23 and 24 students, having fewer electives offered, I think those kind of small things are things that kids care about. Students care about having their interests reflected in the curriculum.